This is an article here from Forbes getting into the details of how Emiru became one of the most wealthiest streamers. It's relevant to me because we're trying to make, I would like to make a little bit better income off of streaming the content, and hey, I like to, and I also just enjoy the stories. It's like a Cinderella type of thing, sometimes, unless she's an industry plant. So let's see if she's an industry plant, or is this like a real Cinderella underdog type of deal?
Important thing, even if you feel like you see everyone. Being yourself is definitely the most important thing, even if you feel like you see everyone else doing something different. If you just be yourself, eventually people that are like you will come.
Made it to Forbes. Emiru. Under 30.
Better known as Emiru.
Hi.
Forbes under 30.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is so cool.
That's crazy. My bad. Bro in the chat says, did you see the clip where, what did he say? Did you see the clip where he told Extra Emily he was gonna propose to Sakura if they won best duo? No. Wait, who said that? Did Agent say that? Oh, no. Are you talking about Jason the Ween said that? Nah, I didn't see that clip, bro. Damn, you're not a small Asian girl. Hey, OL. Yeah.
For joining me today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is so cool.
I'm so excited to have you and talk about so many
I don't know if she's a small white Asian girl either. She just appears to be that.
The barriers that you're breaking across the gaming industry. You were nominated for Streamer of the Year the past 2 years at the Streamies. You are one of the most watched creators on Twitch, especially as far as female streamers goes. Do these accolades or titles mean anything to you, or how do you feel like you've gotten to this point?
It feels very strange because I've been streaming for 10 years and doing content for 10 years, and I still kind of just think of myself as someone that, I'm playing games and sharing my hobbies and stuff, and then if people like it and want to watch and hang out, then that's great, but like I never really expect anything, so it's kind of crazy. I don't really think about it that much, honestly, so it's kind of weird hearing it said like that.
Totally. Well, you have about 7 million people who are coming to watch your content that you're just doing for fun. How has it been over the past 10 years in this industry? So much has changed. What has it been like from your experience?
Well, I don't know if like the people watching really know a lot about streaming. So streaming started literally just as like people who like playing video games or sharing other things, but mostly video games, just in their rooms with their friends sharing it. And now 10 years later, or more than 10 years later, it's like basically involved into like a lot of streamers are collabing with celebrities and doing a lot of crazy stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys know, like Kai Cenat, he just got a million subscribers on his Twitch channel, and like he has all these crazy people like Tony Hawk, and yeah, it's just crazy. Things have changed so much because for me it's like, I'm just a girl in my room.
Yeah, but within this, there have been so many new opportunities for business and to make it your career, not just hobby.
See, that's the part where I call cap. I call Cap, bro. He said she's nervous. Okay, that's what it is. She's nervous. Okay, that makes sense. That's what that makes sense. Because I'm like, I think to make it that successful, this is why I think that she's full of shit. To be that successful, you gotta have the vision to get that. You can't just you're not gonna sit up here and tell me it's luck. That this wasn't some type of premeditative, some type of thought process of, I want to be successful. There had to be some process of you envisioning yourself as successful with them M's. You can't sit up and tell me. You can't sit up and tell me you wasn't sitting there plotting like, oh, rich, I want to be the rich, powerful. I want them to respect me and notice me. You're not gonna sit up and tell me, gang. But she's doing it though.
Anymore.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
When do you feel like that switch happened for you? When did it become your career?
Well, for me, like, I was just doing it instead of going to college because I was like, well, I can just do it and make money, and then I can go finish my degree whenever I want, but that never happened. But over time, as streaming started getting more and more popular, a lot of different industries started, getting involved with streamers, like game publishing or just general marketing, things like that. We're like, hey, we want to work with, streamers and content creators. So yeah, that's also been a really, really big shift over the years. Like, I've worked with, game publishers and
remember.
brands like Red Bull and like clothing brands, like all different kinds of things.
AT&T.
You were just signed with Red Bull. Can you tell me a little bit about that partnership and what that means within the industry?
We'll talk about it.
Well, Red Bull, for the most part, has been more in like, sports and things like that. But they've also, like a little bit lesser known, been working in esports. But they've been spreading more into the creator space a little bit and wanting to do like projects and really fun events that people can watch. So I think like over time they'll be doing more of that, and hopefully I'll be doing that with them too.
It's so cool. You started
That's really cool. Only thing I don't like about Red Bull personally is some of their ingredients in the product. That taurine is a bull sperm extract. I don't ingest it. So that's I don't necessarily see myself working with Red Bull unless it was just for the bag. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, gang. It had to be just for the bag. If I'm drinking a bull sperm, it's just for the bag. I'm gonna let y'all know up front. Yeah.
like you said 10 years ago in 2015, streaming League of Legends, correct?
Yep.
So they be drinking Red Bull and get dehydrated. Yeah, bro. They be drinking a sperm extract.
You get involved in the gaming community to begin with?
Well, I've been playing games since I was, I think, 6 or 7 years old. Like,
Oh, now you're saying they're just synthetically producing it in the labs. It's not actually from a bull, though. Okay, so if it's not actual human sperm that's coming from a dick, it's just made in a petri dish that's completely sterile. Are you gonna drink it or what? He's like, yeah.
a lot of people. And then I got into League. League is the first online game that I played, and since it's online, you just naturally meet a lot of people and make a lot of friends. And I made a lot of friends that got me into streaming, and then I met streamers through doing all that, and just over time, it's grown a lot.
When was the first time that you got paid or had a brand deal, or again, like going back to this transition from it being a hobby to it being your job? Do you remember the first time that you like realized that this is something that you could make money through?
Well, how it starts for pretty much all streamers, or like how it was back then, is it was kind of this realization like, oh, we can play games, and then if people like watching and like hanging out, then they might like subscribe or donate. So
Look, why she didn't answer the question? I love when I hate. Why do people do this shit? Sometimes answer the fucking question. Why didn't you answer the question? She asked you, did you think that you could make money at the beginning? Emiru basically is like, well, yeah, that's what I was doing instead of going to college. Like, I thought that I could make it big stream, and that's why I didn't go to get a real job. And so
Paid or had a brand deal, or again, like going back to this transition from it being a hobby to it being your job. Do you remember the first time that you like realized that this is something that you could make money through?
Well, how it starts for pretty much all streamers, or like how it was back then, is it was kind of this realization like, oh, we can play games, and then if people like watching and like hanging out, then they might like subscribe or donate. So it was literally like, I remember like my first Twitch paycheck was like $200 or something. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing, this is so cool, like I'm making something for doing what I want to do.
And that's 10 years ago too, so the $200 is probably going a long way. Bro, this is why we're not doing the playlist, because you don't know how to understand like no means no, or just wait. I should be pissed. Come on, that's why you gotta follow directions, sir. Very important.
And then I think that my first sponsor was an energy drink company. And that just like blew my mind. I was like, wow, I can't believe that, people want to work with streamers. But I mean, it makes sense because it's the platform that you can reach a lot of people and share different products and different fun things to try. So.
Do you remember what you spent that first $200 on?
Probably more stuff for my stream.
Love it, love it.
Yeah.
How has your content changed over time? Because the industry at large has changed a lot. More platforms have come into the market.
Yeah.
What has that meant for the content that you're creating?
Yeah, well, like I said, it started as people mostly playing video games, but now when you look at the top streamers, they're just straight up entertainers for the most part. Like they're hosting events and going out in the world and like doing all kinds of crazy things. So over time, I've transitioned into, I still really wanted to stay rooted in gaming, but now I like to try a lot of different games, and I kind of view it in a way of like, oh, like sharing, like, this is a new game that came out, people want to see things about it, so I'll do that.
Yeah, you'll do that and you'll get that back. Bro, see, this the only part that bothers me is like, Emiru, just come out and say it. Why you can't just, okay, she's being really PR. It's super PR trained. Okay, maybe that's her PR training coming out. She's allergic to answering the right questions. She's gonna be a superstar. She's gonna make it for a very long time, fam. Shout out to her. She's really answering these questions like a media pro. That's what leads me to believe, like, nah, your ass is a goddamn man. You probably an industry plant, gang. You're doing it too good. Cause you could have just said, yeah, I want to hear it. Yes, I want to get the checks. I like to play smaller games, indie games, because they have bigger bags for me. That's why I like playing different games. Tell us that you play different games because the sweat factor is too high. These guys are too good. These kids is too sweaty. They fucking you up in the lobby no matter what you do. There's more money outside when you touch grass, right? Tell us the truth. What the hell? You trying to make it seem like, oh, it's all fairy tale. I just accidentally did shit. It just started happening and working for me. And I was just like, hey, why not? I might as well go with the flow and just make millions of dollars. So here we are. Bitch, there was a lot of blood, sweat, sacrifice. Come on, gang.
Sharing, like, this is a new game that came out. People want to see things about it. So I'll do that. Or, I do like doing events, like I host things like big global cosplay contests, and I like going to conventions, like anime conventions, cosplay conventions, and streaming those and meeting people there.
I want to talk about the cosplay side of everything. You have become very, very known for your cosplay content. How did you get into this kind of sector of the industry?
Well, I've been like playing dress up since.
You know what? I got to give her some grace though, guys, because this is Forbes. This is Forbes compared to just the streaming, the stream room. So I might be used to seeing like a streamer version of her, but here she's actually, making a interview for a very reputable magazine. So considering, she's doing a great job.
Since I was like, I think 7 or 8 years old, but back then it was just like Disney princess costumes and stuff like that. But I was obsessed with it. Like my mom, she bought me like 5 or 6, and I would try to wear all 5 or 6 at once. And I'd be like, look, mom, look. And so that's how it started. But just like so many other things that start as just like different interests or hobbies for people, online, you can meet people that are interested in those things too that you might not be able to reach in real life. And then you can gain big audiences from that. So I started cosplaying online and meeting a lot of people there. And it was always just about sharing a hobby and interacting with other people. But then over time, as I became more of a streamer and started being able to work with companies, I wanted to do the cosplay contest because I really like seeing other people's stuff that they make. So I wanted to be able to give money back. So what we do is like we'll find a brand that wants to support it, and then we'll give like hundreds of thousands of dollars away to talented artists and creators that enter.
What are you most looking for in this contest? Is there like a specific style that you're really drawn to?
That's what we come for right there. That's where they drop the gems. That's where they drop the gems for you. If you know what I mean? If people can listen, you got the intent, listen with the intent to understand. Sometimes you can pick up on it and then be able to emulate or, change your operation to goddamn do something right. But look, she say that's how y'all get the sponsorship and get
specific style that you're really drawn to, or a specific side of.
I like the way she kind of just showed how they got the sponsorships lined up for her cosplay contest.
There are people that are more casual, but it's still what they love doing. So we try to give awards and funding to people of all different talent levels. So we'll have like the craftsmanship category, which is for people that are like Hollywood level crafters or like sometimes even better. But we'll also give it to people that, they just want to make something silly and fun to make people
the
laugh.
E-Simp style. So you think some of she said, companies who want to, we just find companies that just want to support it. Like, y'all just make it sound so easy. Yeah, that's what it's almost deceptive, but yeah, but you know what? It probably is like a wave of a hand with all the E-Simps that are just like in that market. They might have clapped that's the $1 million world of cosplay. Welcome, wake up and smell the coffee. Okay.
The relationship with your audience change, especially as you're saying, you've gone from being fully online to then in real life with a lot of these people. What has that meant for how you're able to generate new audiences, engage with the people who follow you?
Well, streaming is it's really different from most other like entertainment industries because you're very connected to your audience compared to other places. Like an actor or a singer probably isn't really getting to directly interact with their audience much besides maybe like Instagram or Twitter. But for streaming, literally the whole time you're live, you're talking to people in chat. So there's like a lot of pros and cons to that. Like I really, really like my community. I like being able to talk to them. But then it can also invite like a lot of strange things, like people that are very invasive or stalkers or things like that, which does happen in other industries, but it's a lot more prevalent in streaming for sure.
Definitely. And as a
Oh
woman,
yeah, hell yeah. They're probably gonna segue into some of the topics because we did. We was there at the Streamer Awards. Not Streamer Awards. The TwitchCon, that fateful day where homie tried to grab her, and well, not homie, but that sick man grabbed her and tried to kiss her or whatever. Supposedly we can get. Okay, let's not put that in the chat.
in the space too, I'm sure that this is an increased kind of concern of yours.
I gotta look at the I'll update the TOS, but that's crazy.
Make sure that you are, putting up the right barriers while still connecting with people.
Well, in a lot of cases, it's almost like there's kind of nothing you can do, and you just kind of have to do your best to, take care of yourself and take care of your friends. Like, I've had a lot of things happen to myself or happen to my friends. Like, even just recently, there was some like discussion online. I don't know if you know who, I'm sure you do, like Pokimane and Valkyrie. They were talking about how they didn't want to attend one of the big streamer events because security is such a big concern. And a lot of people didn't really understand that, but it is a very prevalent and crazy thing.
Yeah, and I'm sure too, we all have parasocial relationships with celebrities we follow or, influencers online. But to your point, we're not always talking with them. And I'm sure that adds a whole other layer of people feeling like they know you.
Yeah, it's strange because in the past, when talking about stalkers or people fixating on celebrities, it would be people like Britney Spears or Miley Cyrus that are they are so out of reach in a lot of ways. But a lot of people feel like they have direct access to streamers. So especially in the case of people who, might be mentally ill or maybe, don't really like women, it can be a lot more scary.
And of course, there are many of these concerns, but you obviously are still in this industry because you love it and there's a great community as well.
Yeah.
Who is the majority of your demographic today? Who are the people that are following you and watching along with your streams whenever you create content?
Well, I think for me, and then
tell the truth, bots. For me, I think it's a lot of bots, to be honest.
Just the streaming community in general. Most of my audience is people in their 20s and early 30s. And then it is definitely a lot more heavily male dominated since it's more of a gaming space. But I have noticed that over the years, it's become a lot more welcoming to women. Compared to when I first started. I remember when I first started streaming, there were a lot of other girls streaming on Twitch, but the environment was just not very welcoming. I would be streaming League and every 5 or 6 messages would be like a sexist or hate message. And I would have friends who'd be like, oh, I wanted to start streaming because I saw you were doing it. It looked so fun, but I couldn't handle the chat in the comments, but I just have very thick skin, I think.
And I think this is something that women across industries feel, right? Regardless of if you're in front of a camera or in the workplace, how do you keep your confidence and keep true to what you are doing and what you are creating? What's your advice for how other young women coming up in any industry can do the same thing?
I think it's really important to try to stay grounded and try to keep talking to people that aren't necessarily in the industry, but it's also important to talk to people that can relate to you. I've reached out to a lot of other female streamers at times that I needed advice, and then now I have a lot of people that reach out to me to ask about different things. But I think at the end of the day, it's just clear that the positives outweigh the negatives, so it's worth it.
And you are the #1 female streamer on Twitch right now, correct?
It's subjective.
Okay, you're up there. You're in the top % of female streamers on Twitch. What do you think about your content or your personality brings people to you today? How have you generated that following?
Well, when I decided I wanted to try to start improving my stream a lot, I wanted to try to create an environment where people felt like they were having fun hanging out. So, I try to
I'm gonna let her finish. I'm gonna rewind that part a little bit, but I want y'all to answer the question too. If y'all see that in the comment section or in the chat, what do you think it is that made Emiru pop off and get bigger? Me personally, I think it was her being very smart about picking her relationships. Number one, yeah, using what she had, all right, got you a solid base. But I think what really blew her up was getting in there, being smart enough to get in there with Mizkif and work our way into OTK. And then from there, like, skyrocket. Personally, he said that's what it is, just be a small agent. Period. That's what Johnny say. Small. It don't happen for all of them, though. Do it? Does it happen for every single one of them? He might be right. He might be onto something. I don't know.
To try to create an environment where people felt like they were having fun hanging out. So, I try to do like a big variety of things. Like, I'll just talk to people, we'll watch videos together, play different games, like go to events, go outside, meet people, have people over. Like, I just wanted to make a fun environment, basically.
Is there a favorite piece of content that you are creating right now, or a favorite medium that you're working in?
Well, my favorite thing to do will always be to play games, but I mean, I love doing stuff. Like, I did a Red Bull flute tog recently, which is when you build like a craft that's supposed to fly. They literally push you off like a 15 to 30 foot ledge, and then you're supposed to fly. We did that recently, so I want to do more stuff like that.
How did that go?
We actually did okay. We flew like, I think 20 to 25 feet.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you at least made it. You made it. You had some air time.
We didn't drop straight down like a rock.
I want to talk about the different platforms that you're on today. You're on.
So Brody says, yeah, also being one of the early adapters of streaming helps her to like really catapult and be, yeah, it's 10 years. Imagine that, yeah, 10 years of streaming. She got the COVID boom. She got a lot of old games. You were there at the beginning of the Fortnite, bro. She didn't, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of, bro, that's a lot of grinding. W grinder.
Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, really across the board in terms of social media.
Yeah, I do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you do. What do these different platforms mean for how you're building your audience, or the brand opportunities or business opportunities that you get from them? How do you use the platforms differently from one another?
Well, I personally use Twitter and Instagram and TikTok to just share my hobbies, because I think, if every single platform is like a job, it might get kind of, it might be like a recipe for burnout. Like, you'll notice that most creators kind of just focus on one place, and the place that I like the most is Twitch because of the interaction. But the branding stuff and like the business stuff does work differently for every platform. But I do think that Twitch is probably like one of the harder ones to do.
And how come?
Because it's very, very top heavy. And then I feel like places like Instagram, TikTok, it's a lot easier to get yourself out there. Whereas Twitch, sometimes you just have to be lucky or know the right people, which can be very demoralizing for a lot of people.
See,
do you feel that burnout ever, especially being so in front of the camera, so front facing? Do you suffer with burnout?
Well, I'm definitely more of an introvert. So when I go out and do all these events, which I love doing, I wish I didn't get so burnt out, but when I have a lot of socializing, I do need time to just kind of, be alone and play games.
What do you feel like is the next phase of this like streaming and gaming environment? Are there any like platforms you're excited about, or types of content that you think are really going to become popular within the next like 1 to 3 years?
Well, it definitely seems like the kind of content people like to consume is shifting more to short form content. And but I hope that people continue watching streams, because I think that it's really fun. I feel like it's one of the only content creation mediums where like you kind of have to be there to really experience it, whereas everything else is like, it doesn't really matter when it's posted or if it's reposted. But streaming is, I feel like, the closest thing to real life that you can get online. Yeah,
that totally makes sense to me. How does that impact how you come to the stream versus how you post on Instagram? Of course, we can all like sit on an Instagram post for weeks before we hit publish.
Yeah.
So how do you think about like what you are bringing to these different platforms, knowing that it's in real time in those cases?
Well, yeah, like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, you can share like the perfect picture of yourself. But on stream, it's just you there for hours. Like, people will see everything, and like they'll eventually feel like they get to know you, because I mean, you can't fake a personality for like 12 hours a day every single day for years.
And what about your personality do you think draws people in today?
I feel like that I'm not really afraid to be kind of weird.
People love that. Everyone is in some way, so being able to find that community, I'm sure a lot of your audience members feel like comfort in that.
I think, again, it's just her like starting at that right time and getting in there early. and kicking all that, kicking up dust and finding the right place, the right people. I'm going to. Oh, look at that. Oh, they're kind of sucking me in. I don't have time to finish the whole thing, but I would like to know your thoughts and comments. And if it does, we get enough thoughts and comments on it, then y'all want me to go through the rest of it and put it up. Let me know in the comments, and we'll do that. But yo, the second part, they talk about brand opportunity and owners. Man, I like to see her up there, bro. That's a big W. Homie said she only did it because she's Asian. And Brody said she did it because they're being on time and early adapter streaming. My personal take is she used her connections as well. What y'all? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'll see y'all in the next one. Mother, love and peace.